meters wave. They look like this, and the wave looks like this.
Like when you're walking.
And if that falls on you, you're dead. You just die.
Yeah.
That's it. You know?
Dedication.
They're like crazy.
They really are crazy.
I saw an interesting surfer magazine article. They put a lady surfer and a man surfer, and then they had arrows to all their injuries.
Yeah.
Like broke this bone February 2016. Smashed this part. Still scraped hair off on the reef, you know.
There's kind of same way. Slamming your head. Garage door.
I know what's his name. What's the guy name?
Who's saying Garrett McNamara?
No, the one that's
Did you do this?
If you look at Nazaré, N-A-Z-A-R.
No, it's a ringtail cat.
Oh, it's the
No, it's a ringtail cat.
There's always that lighthouse.
They're cool. Yeah, they're the Chinese. See, that's actually the same box in the winter, so she's got a thick coat.
Yeah, it's pretty. That's a really famous wave. Yeah, it is.
Oh gosh, I'm
That's
sorry.
her again. Oh, here she is.
Sorry.
Come here, dig him up.
I see him once in a while there.
Text right now, so.
I don't know if I had to explain why the retreatant was a little off in his head to touch a possibly rabid animal.
She was not rabid. You could,
Well, how would you know?
because you can tell by their behavior very distinctly.
Oh,
You see them every day. You can tell.
believe.
I mean, how can I tell you're not rabid, Llama?
Well, I didn't bite you recently.
Well,
It doesn't have to do with biting necessarily.
I
had a
didn't say
rabbit
that.
fox when I was in retreat.
I believe you, and I bet you could tell the difference in
tell
her behavior.
immediately.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You get to know them well. It's like, do you know if your dog's rabid? It's your dog, yeah, you know.
Or your kid?
I think so.
And my kid definitely is.
Okay, is it time? Are we on time?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Sashi
Pugi Jushin Meto Tam Rira Vingshin Yende Gempadi Sangye Shindu Nite Uargi Rukun Nandak Shingma Chuparsho Iram Guru Radha Mandala Kamyatayami
Sangha
Chanam Soki Chonama Chanchu Pardu Dagni Kapsuchi Daki Chinen Gipe Sanam Ki Jola Penchir Sangye Druparsho
Sangha
Chanam Soki Chonama Chanchu Pardu Dagni Kapsuchi Daki Chinyen Gipe Sanam Ki Jola Penchir Sangye Druparsho
Sangha
Chidam Soki Chonam La Chamchu Bardu Dagni Kapsuchi Daki Chinyen Gipe Sanam Ki Jola Penchir Sangye Druparsho Smoky Doki. All right then. Do you have homeworks? Go.
Yay.
All right. Do you want to take over the screen?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Can you make it bigger
Oh,
for us blind people?
okay. How many sets of vowels are there for 4 days?
4
And
days.
name?
Ooh.
Oh,
6
nasty.
sets.
Yeah.
And name them pampas, pontoons, tunches.
Wow.
What?
Sakma?
Pakmas.
Social shakpa, nature.
Social shakpa.
Nietzsche.
Nature.
Nice.
Yeah,
I can't even do that.
This is
Pretty good.
Social chakra.
okay.
I didn't get them in order. We didn't get close though.
Tut
And-
tut.
Is that for nuns too?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Monks and
And second question is about why are they called defeats? Are the names of the vows exclusively descriptive to that category?
Oh, cool.
Pretty good
Second
English.
part is a big fat no. Yeah.
What's
They're called defeats because you've been defeated by your mental affliction.
yes.
And
And are the names of the vows exclusively descriptive to that
Not
category?
they
usually.
are
No.
not.
No.
Not ever.
Not ever?
No, they weren't in any of these cases.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they are arbitrary.
They're
Yeah, good. Arbitrary. I taught her a new English word. Arbitrary. It means random, but it's more polite.
Does not mean
Kisha just
random.
told me.
You didn't choose it for a good reason. There's not a strong reason why you chose it.
The third one?
Arbitration is a different thing.
Yeah.
Now that's a
That's a legal
Yeah.
discussion.
Yeah.
Arbitrary means chosen, random.
What's the real differentiation between the categories of vows?
the severity
How heavy they
of
are.
the
Yeah.
resulting karma.
Yes, it's the severity, how heavy. Yes.
Nice.
And three words.
Touch. Break back.
The touch,
Oh, right.
Yeah.
touch, contact,
Oh, that's funny.
and
I
can.
don't know this
Ken, I
word.
don't either.
EKA. Nope.
Lie down.
Oh yeah.
To lie down.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lateral back.
cool.
Yeah.
Nice,
like-
chosen.
It's about like
No.
a nun should not like lie down in front with the face up in front of a man.
Right.
Mhm.
I already know.
And this one,
To make it a point.
that's the one.
General.
How?
And a general name applied to a specific thing
Great.
Right.
Mhm.
Nice.
is what
It's
that
a-
has to mean.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. Well, you're passed.
Oh yeah.
Yay. Thank you, Alison.
Well done.
Awesome.
You-
Questions.
Oh, words
Amazing
help.
English.
Well done, word.
Okay,
All right.
please.
I'll take the camera with a projector.
Lie down your back.
Okay. I'm going to start again from the beginning of the nun's vows, full nun's vows. And I had a lot of trouble with this, more than any other class. And I finally realized there is no tradition in Tibet for teaching this, you see. So I had to go back to India, and the Tibetans didn't recognize full nun's vows. They said the lineage was broken when a certain king killed all the nuns. And there wasn't 12 nuns to make a new nun, because it only takes 5 monks, but it takes 12 nuns. And 20 or 12. And then I finally realized, I got frustrated. I was working on it. I took all the books on nuns' vows ever written and put them in one folder and searched it for these things, and half of them aren't there. And it's very frustrating. And so our author, in my opinion, Chonin Lama here, he's writing about something that he had no personal experience of. There was no nuns tradition, full nuns tradition in Tibet. So I think you're going to get a little bit of oral transmission, Dharma rumors in the monastery about what full nuns used to do. Okay? And then I can patch it together, but it's many hours of work. So there's only so much I can do during the term, or if I'm doing other things. There's only so much I can do, I can piece it together. We pieced together the nuns' ordination ceremony. Yes?
Maybe we could use the Chinese.
I don't trust it. I don't trust
It's a different
it.
set of vows, but it's
Yeah, I don't trust it. I want to go to the original sources. I could go online, see what some lady in Thailand's doing. I'm not going to do it. I want the original sources. What?
an authoritative commentary from China.
I don't know what's an authoritative commentary from China. I know the Sanskrit is a good translation. So if I can reconstruct it from the original Sanskrit text, I don't want to start a Dharma rumor. You know, I'm not going to follow a book that was written 1,000 years later in China, even though it's considered authoritative in China for the last 1,000 years. I want to go to the original teachings of the Buddha and piece it back together. And that's just the way I do things. I can't read Chinese. I can't compare all the content, all the commentaries written in Chinese. I can't. I don't have the skills. I don't have the skills to read the Pali. I do have the skills to check the Sanskrit. You see? And it was the first one. So, you know, that's my opinion. I don't want to pollute this group's work with later things that may not be correct. That's all. I'm adamant about it. I won't do it. You can start another series called Maybe Correct Later Commentary Series. You know, no, really. But I'm not spending my lifetime on that. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Public Datsun. So, 8 serious defeats. Generally, I mean, it's not in the definition here, but in general, if you do them, you lose your vows. Okay. So here we go. We already talked about this one, touching a man, and the literature is massive. From this part of the head to this part of the leg. Apparently it's okay to touch him on the ankle. You see, there's a huge conversation about this vow. But in general, touching a man, and then out of some kind of desire, okay? But he doesn't say that. The name of the vow is touching a man. For a full nun to touch a man. The meaning of the vow, it would take you many pages to describe it. Okay, so I don't know how far we go. The point of this text by Tsongkhapa is that it's a summary of the Vinaya. It's not meant to be a full Vinaya text. It's meant to be something you recite every 2 weeks, and it takes about 2 minutes. You know, so okay. So maybe we corrupt the text if we make the explanation too long. You see, he's just giving the traditional names of the vows. And there's also a thing of secrecy. There's a tradition that you kind of are fudging the vows if you teach them to people who are not monks and nuns. Because then they will judge the monks and nuns according to their imperfect knowledge of the Vinaya. And they will make bad karma. Oh, you're not supposed to touch men. No, but you don't know the exceptions. You know, like that, okay? All right, Luken de Nyewe Pamba. We got that one okay. The Nyalwa is tricky because it normally means to sleep. So it's not sleep with a man. It's lie down with the front part of your body exposed to a man who might take it the wrong way. You could even recline on a couch, for example, in front of a man. Okay. Yeah, look, these are my notes to the single word, which is Kemba, and this is misspelled, and then it all gets difficult. Okay, those are my notes to Kemba. So we kind of reached this one, okay? And this is a pretty standard Vinaya concept. By the way, that's why we split the translations between 10, 12 people.
10, 12.
10 or 12 people. Is because we are, the Vinaya vocabulary is totally different. And you don't have time to learn all of them. We should have a Vinaya specialist, an Abhidharma specialist, a middle way specialist, a logic specialist, a meditation specialist. We should have these specialties. And that means you have to stick around for 20 years, okay? Mazal? Minimum. Okay, so chaba means to conceal a moral fault. You know, like don't admit to, try to hide your worst side to other people. I do it, we all do it. Try not to advertise your moral failures, okay? So chaba means that. And in this case, he has chosen for a nun to conceal the bad deed, nyepa chepa, and this is not nyeche, okay? That's a vow category. Okay, the names are not definitive; they are descriptive. Okay, there's a category of vows called "did bad." but they're all did bad. Okay, so this is the general use of did bad. Okay, and the example they give is
So killing.
killing. Yeah. Now, is it concealing your own or concealing someone else's?
Does not say that.
See, it doesn't say. As far as I can tell, well, I'm not even going to go there. It could be either. So when you translate this, you just have to say concealing a bad deed such as killing. And it doesn't say kill a human, kill an animal. It's not clear. And it's not clear anywhere in 2,000 years. Okay? I'm sorry. In general, to count as a pamba, it has to be mia mir chakpa.
Human or human.
Human or a fetus. Human or a human fetus. In general, for to lose your vows, it should be a human or a human fetus. But he didn't say that. So if I'm you, I just leave it. Okay? And I went very deep into it. And all I found was a long discussion about why Chaba was more serious among nuns than monks.
Hiding your.
Yeah, hiding your mistakes.
Because men don't hide them.
She said men don't hide them. They just no. But the argument I read, which is by Tsonawa, I guess. Yeah, that famous ancient Vinaya commentary before Tsongkhapa, Kagyu. His or Nyingma. Anyway, his he goes into a bit of a discussion about why Chaba is more serious for nuns. What do you? Yeah, I mean, he says because the nuns are a tighter community, and because they are more. Yeah, they are more restricted to closer quarters because they're not allowed to go out as much as monks. And there's a lot of nuns' vows that relate to not leaving the cloister. So they were more locked together, and if they started hiding things from each other, it would get nasty. Okay? And then if you're locked into close quarters with other people for the rest of your life, like a traditional Christian monastery, nunnery, then you would, things would get nasty if people started hiding things from each other in close quarters. That's his argument. Okay?
You get that impression in a large 3-year retreat.
Yeah, 3-year retreat.
Yeah, you
Same.
very much so.
Yeah. It all goes better if everyone's just honest.
Yeah.
You know, look, I have a drinking problem, and whatever. Okay. Okay, read, please. Number 4 of the Pambas, most serious group. How is it defined? More serious than the group below. Thanks.
So far, so well.
Ki.
So far, so young. Do mi len pa la. Shen ki, su shin du go kyang. Ge kyang mi nan mi yen pe. Lo pe. Dok pe pam pa de.
Nice. I made my own notes, but it's bigger than that. I've been reading it since then. Okay, so Sapa Sul means to ask someone to forgive you. Sapa Sul, which means request someone to forgive you. Okay, so Sapa normally means patience, but here it means please forgive me. Okay, so there's a rite, there's a monastic rite, there's 100 and something monastic rites. One of them is Sapa Sul. Please forgive what I did. Okay, Sapa. And now it's interesting. The Sapa Uppa means comes in the description of Arhat. Yeah, to be worthy of. It means he wants to ask for forgiveness, and it would be proper. So, and it's he. Gelong. Okay, so a male, a monk, wants to beg forgiveness. and it would be the right thing. Uppa. It would be correct. Okay? All right? And he wants to ask for forgiveness. Super Solyang. Dang du min lemba. Dung to lemba is an idiom, okay? So now you have another meaning of dung. It's a messy, messy word. When it's followed by do and followed by len, it means to agree happily. Dung to lemba. It means to take it up happily. Okay, so dung to lemba is a very weird idiom, okay? You gladly agree, quickly agree. Dung to lemba, okay?
In this case, down.
And by the way, you don't. Okay, you're a nun. A monk comes to you and says, "I want to beg forgiveness. I did something wrong," and you say, "I don't want to listen to it." Okay, got it? This is Choni Lama's version. Okay. Then somebody else comes to you. Another nun comes to you. Maybe the abbess, the lady abbot, and she comes to you and says, and correctly, so shindu, in the proper way. You know, following all the rules of Vinaya, she comes to you, and go means she orders you to accept that forgiveness. Go means to order, okay? In your text, goa means
Sustain.
yeah, to put a seed into the foundation consciousness. But in the study of Vinaya, it means the abbess orders you. This guy wants to do a forgiveness ceremony. You have to do it, and you say no.
Or you say no to the abbot.
Yeah. Okay. Kiga, Minyan, you don't listen. You don't listen to her order. And dok, you refuse. This is his dok. Your pancake. Yeah, you do. You go. You refuse. Dok, you refuse. You refuse to take his. Now there's huge commentaries on this, and it gets more interesting. But the main point is that this is a monk who did some very serious bad stuff. He got kicked out of the monastery, and he's wandering around. And he came to the nunnery and said, "I need to tell someone my mistakes." And you say, "No, I don't want to hear it." Okay. And then obviously there should be 20 other nuns around, and you know, you shouldn't take confessions one-on-one because it gets nasty. It could get nasty. You say, "Show me what you did." Okay. Now you don't, you know, you try to have more than one nun there if a male is confessing. Okay. All right, got it? And that's Choni Lama's interpretation of number 4. Okay, and there's lots of details that the Vinaya texts don't agree. They're kind of, and so if I were going to do this properly, I would go back and there's 2 Vinaya scriptures by Lord Buddha that only tell the nuns' vows. Dulwashi, Gelongme Dulwashi, Vinaya Vasti for nuns. So I would go study that more carefully. Okay? But this is his oral tradition. This is what he heard in the monastery about what nuns are supposed to do after 1,000 years of no nuns. Okay? So take it with that grain of salt. You have the airplane.
Gelong me tun mong ma yin pe pampa shinda.
Keep going.
Tun mong wa gelong gi kep su
Cup.
kap su.
Nice correct.
Gyu gi pampa shinda.
She.
Shi de pam gyu
Gay.
ge do.
Okay.
Nice house.
These are the 4 pampas which are unique to nuns. Okay? Gelom tumo mayimbe pampa. Okay? These are the 4 very serious infractions that are unique to nuns. There are 4 more which are shared with the monks. Tumong, shared, okay? With the monks. And I will cheng yer gelongi kapsu.
At the time when I teach the monks vows.
Good, yeah. When we get to the full monks' vows, I'll teach those. I'll cover those. By the way, the literature for the full monk's vows is extensive. I mean, because that's a living tradition. So, I was taught those, and those are easy for me. This one is terrible. This one is extremely difficult. It's 1,000 years old. No one's done it since then. Okay. So when I get to the 4 that are the same as the monks' pambas, I'll talk about the other 4. Okay. So this is a pretty famous category called Gelong Me Tumomayembe Pamba. Unique, most serious infractions, unique to full nuns. Okay, got it? All right, here we go. Sagme Deitsen, 20 vows. Okay. Next, second, really the only serious translation you can do of these names is second serious, second most serious, third most serious, fourth most serious. That's the only real translation. Do we have the courage to do that? I don't know. Go ahead.
Maybe parentheses or something? Yeah.
Deitsenni. Okay, good. So the second group of vowels is called Sakma, leftovers. Do you remember why? Why did they call it leftovers? I don't remember. No, that's Tumje.
Goodness left to repair the bell.
That's right.
That's the traditional explanation, but we had a different one yesterday. Let's leave it. I'm not gonna. It would slow us down too much. Okay. Nyen chepa. Nyen is a specific rare word, and it means matchmaking. There's some Jewish word, Yiddish word.
Yenta.
Yenta. You can't be a yenta if you're ordained. Why? Because there was a lengshi.
Somebody.
There was a story. There was an incident. The incident. Every vow of the monks and nuns has a lengshi, an incident. Because there weren't any vows when the Buddha first got enlightened. And then somebody messed up, and he said, we better make a rule about this. And those lengshis are very fascinating. The stories of the original mess up. Like alcohol was not forbidden in the beginning.
Right.
And then somebody got drunk and did something really stupid.
Ruined it for everybody.
And then there's a lengshi. And in modern times, lengshi means the introduction to a book. So if you see lengshi at the beginning of a printed book, don't think it's somebody's telling you the story of how they messed up. It means introduction. Okay, yeah. Okay, so Kim Tupki Chir. Nyen Chepa means to do matchmaking. By the way, obviously what happened was the couple started fighting, and they blamed it on the nun who put them together. Right. You introduced me to this schmuck. You're the person who introduced me to this guy. Now look how bad he is. Okay, and then all the nuns got a bad reputation. Yeah. Okay, Kim Top means.
Way of household.
Yeah, it means. What do you call it? Married people set up a household. You call that?
Yeah, household.
They make their nest. Kim Tup means literally, it's misspelled. I believe it's Tup. It means a stove, an oven. Oh, yeah. And Kim Tup is a word for a married couple's nest, hearth and home. Yeah. So in order to get them started on their married life in their newly bought house, you try to matchmake. You try to matchmake so that they will start a nest. Okay, got it? Okay. Cheer here means for the purpose of. Okay, that they should live together for the rest of their lives and set up a household, have children. That's all called tup, Kim Tup. Okay. All right. What's Kim Dak?
Householder.
Gerhapati. Yeah. So we're kind of trying an unusual thing in Sedona. We're all trying to buy houses, but not be householders. Okay. It's going okay, I think. Yeah, except for the ants. Okay, go.
Geloma Shela Shumepa.
Wait, who's got the airplane? She said she mepa, which means immortal. She mepa, which means groundless.
Shumepa.
Accusation.
Pampe Kurwa. Kurwa. Nde
Nice prenasal.
Ndepe
She.
Shimeki Madam.
Good. The lagma's just repeated. Second order vowel. Second order vowel. Okay. Geloma shin.
Other.
Another full nun. Another full nun. You kundep. We had it in some. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. They are actually, in truth, they are living a pure life. But you.
Denigrate?
Denigrate is good. And it's a very important word in mind-only school.
Right.
Of what you do to reality.
See the object of less than.
But, so here you get a nice sense of the normal sense of the word. Okay? It means she's actually a fine person, and you kind of downgrade her. Okay? She's actually keeping her vows very well, especially with regard to men. But you accuse her of a pampa.
Wow.
You hint to your friend, you say she's
Sleeping around.
She's sleeping around or something like that, okay? She mepa means there's groundless. In English we have an expression, groundless. There's no proof, there's no evidence. You just don't like her, okay? She in Vinaya, she mepa means there's no evidence. It's totally made up. There's no indication that she's doing that at all. And you just want to hurt her, okay? You want to hurt her reputation, okay? Okay, got it? And extremely serious in the vows, okay? And it's the same with monks, okay? You start rumors about her with no evidence. Now the next one is more interesting. And I think he should have said she yopar. Or she baktam yopar. But he did say baktam. So please read. You got the plain word.
Shimepa.
She?
She.
She.
Shimepa. Don't. Shimepa.
Par. No p. Par. Par.
Shimepa. Don't.
Good.
Suki gowa. Shepe. Zamki ha madam.
Okay. This is a common distinction in the Vinaya vows. There is some indication. There is a little stuff going on. She's been hanging. She's seen with this guy. She's been walking with him. Okay, but still, out of malice, you overstate it. You say, I think something's going on. What? She talked to him yesterday. You see what I mean? Like, there's some indication, but it's not proof. Maybe it's innocent. 90% it's innocent. It's not a bad thing going on. And it's innocent. But you make... Well, he said she may, but I don't like it. But if I were going to translate it like this, I would say, without any solid evidence, she mepa, sur kikor chepa, based on what you heard, sur, talk going around. Sur means corner, right?
Yeah.
And ken sur means former abbot. It means you heard some random talk going around the monastery, sur kikoa, you heard something. And then bhaktam is a Vinaya term. It means with some evidence. Okay, bhaktam means, it's a Vinaya idiom, and it means with some indication, possible indication, but no proof. Okay, shimepa. There's no solid evidence, but there's some possible stuff going on. But you make it positive. You say she's definitely sleeping with him. I know. Why? I heard. Why? Somebody thinks they saw something. Why? Because she talked to him for 2 seconds and everybody's like, yeah, okay. Okay, but you broke your vows. because it's done out of malice, and it's done knowing there's no solid evidence. Okay, it's done on the basis of hearsay. Maybe hearsay is good for baksa. In English, there's an expression called hearsay, not solid evidence. Just people are talking like that. Okay. The next one took me 2 days. And I don't know. When I figured it out, I was happy, but I was also pissed off. Okay, here we go.
Who has the plan?
Oh, who's got the plane? Adam's got the plane.
Kiepa lap lo len pe
La lembe. Okay, big mistake.
la len pe sampa sampe se chik yang lukwa lungwa len pe lakma dam.
Okay, good. Kepa means born thing, but in the Vinaya it means a male. Okay, it's the opposite of pumate. Okay, so Kepa means, yeah, it's all very sexist. Women are called people without the thing. Pume. It's very insulting. So that's built into the language. Yeah. Unfortunately, people without the worm is a woman. It's the word for woman. Okay. Anyway, it's getting better. It's still pretty bad. Now, Lu Lemba is a very, very common word, and it means to start singing. For example, when you do your one-day vows, you can't Lu Lemba. Okay, you can't take up a song. Okay, and it took me like 2 days to figure out it's a big, big mistake in the texts, many times repeated. It's La, G-L-A. There's no shupq. La, and I had a feeling for 2 days it bothered me. Like I was in the toilet and I'm like, I know there's something there. And then finally this morning I was like, and I found it. It's La Lemba. La means payment. Lacha means salary, for example. Even nowadays, lacha means salary or sometimes rent. But it means to accept any object from a man that other people might interpret as him giving you something for sex or something like that. Okay, so to accept money or gifts, accept gifts from a man that might be misinterpreted by other people. Okay. And it looks like he's paying you for something, meaning sex or most often sex. And then they get into prostitution. They talk about prostitution. They talk about young nuns being sent for prostitution, stuff like that, by evil older nuns and stuff like that. So it's always been a problem in India. It's still a problem. 60,000 kids go missing every year in India. 60,000 kids are sold into prostitution. They just take them from the market. They're walking behind their mom and suddenly they disappear and no one ever sees them again. Yeah, so anyway, any kind of improper looking transaction, passage of gifts or money, a nun shouldn't accept them from a man. Then they go into the qualities of a man, and they say maybe the man has desire, maybe the man is, they describe the man and it's not very nice either. Okay, so, but all Choni Lama said was conceiving of it as compensation, you accept something from a man. Meaning he wants something and you're willing to take it. Okay, got it? And mostly it has sexual connotations. I suppose it could have other connotations also.
Where were you getting that out of this line?
Conceiving of.
The
Yeah.
samba?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah, there has to be a conception that you are getting reimbursed for something.
by the nun herself.
Limbe samba.
Yeah, by the nun.
Limbe samba.
She has to be thinking, I'm getting la. I'm getting, this is
Payment.
I owe him something for
He's not
this.
giving this to me out of the goodness.
Yeah, it's not a gift.
This is not
it's-
dinner.
Yeah. There's something behind it.
Not just.
Okay? All right.
There is also a movie included.
And after the movie. Okay, go. I already translated this for you. Go. Tetar,
Data lendum jupe
jukbe.
jupe lakmadam.
Now, in the study of Vinaya, the word jukpa, which normally means to enter, like Umala Jukpa,
Yeah.
Chandrakirti's famous book, Entering the Middle Way. What's the middle way in the
Wisdom.
Nagarjuna's wisdom? In the study of Vinaya, it always means to get someone else to do something.
Really?
Yeah, to push someone else, to juke them. Yeah, to get them to do something. That's called jukpa. Okay? So when you're studying Vinaya and you come to jukpa, always consider this possibility. Especially if there's a verb in front of it. To get them to,
Take.
yeah, to,
Get someone else to take that money.
yeah, to take that kind of thing. Say, you know, I don't want everybody to think I'm giving him sex, which I am. But so can you take the money and then give it to me later? You see, you get someone else to take this thing. Got it? Or you say, he's a nice guy, he wants to meet you after, you know, prayers and he has money for you also. So it could be either one. You get another woman to do the same thing, or you get the other woman to take the money for you. It could be either. So when you translate it, you could say induce someone else to take such a gift. You see? And we don't know whether it's for you or for the other person. Okay, one more. These are nasty, aren't they? Sorry. Who's got the plane, Nick?
Chunjuk mepe mepa
10.
zen mo gelong na la chiro
네.
ne chiro
Chiro.
chiro tuk mepa zen mo we lakmata.
Okay, so when we're studying these vowels, the pattern grammatically is going to be a description of the vowel and then the name of the vowel. In English, it's going to be reversed. So the next vowel is called semodawa harma, semodawa, which means apart at night,
Yeah.
separate at night. Okay, this is the vowel, second order vowel, called
Separate at night.
separated at night. Okay, that's the name of the vowel. The vowel's called separated at night. Now here comes the description. In Tibetan syntax, the description comes first. In English syntax, the description comes second. Okay, so here's what it means to be separated at night. Yeah, timdro means su timki tok mo, which means what?
Female friend.
Female morality friend.
Yeah, morale.
Okay, buddy. It's a buddy system, especially for the nuns. And it's a buddy system for the monks until you're 12 years kept your vows well, something like that. You cannot go out by yourself. You have to be accompanied by another nun who is sutrim.
Keeping his vow.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, it can't be two nasty nuns going out together and then you're okay. So they call it chimdo. You know, she has to be keeping her vows. Okay, the one you go out with. Okay, don't mepar senmo at night. So be careful with the word at night because it incorporates the word for name.
Right.
And it incorporates the word for Buddha signs.
Yeah.
But it's a totally different word. Senmo means at night. Okay, senmo. Gelong namle, from the community. From the, meaning from the residents of the community, or from other community members if you're all traveling together. Okay? Yeah, here's her chiro, here's Utpala's chiro.
Staying outside.
Yeah, you go outside. You hang out outside. Meaning away, maybe you could be traveling, you're all in a wagon around a campfire, and you have to be at a nunnery.
Right.
But you separate yourself from the body of the nuns at night.
Yeah.
At least it would lead to rumors. Okay, the nuns are wandering around at night. Okay.
Time is up.
Yeah, and this group of four in the ancient books of Vinaya are grouped together because they involve being separated from the other nuns. And they're not obviously that, they don't look like that, but they are. So, for example, number 9 is to swim across a river. But according to the ancient Vinaya texts, without the other nuns around, it distributes to all 4. Okay. Okay. I thought that was important. It's okay to swim across a river if it's 20 nuns swimming across a river, but it's not okay by yourself.
Some people interpret it as no sir.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying,
No.
by the way, it would take many days to do this properly. And I guess when we get to editing your translation, we'll see how much detail we want to put in, but it's a huge subject. And there's no one source, okay? You've got to read many sources. And sometimes they contradict each other, okay? All right, then.
Sashi
Buddhi Dushi Metotam Rira Mingshi Ninde Gempadi Sangye Shindu Nite Uargi Drokunanda Shinga Tuparsho Iram Guru Radhamandana Kanya Dayami
Kewa
Li Kewo Kun Sunam Yeshe Tsozokshin Sunam Yeshe Le Chungwe Tabar Kuni Tobar Sho Shmogi Dogi. I think even if you're not going to become a nun, I think it's a huge blessing to translate it, because it will affect your behavior anyway. You'll still become a better